Short break indeed. Welcome back. Already ready to go into set 2. I'm Tiger, joined by F. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Can't complain. Excellence versus rival. Here we go. Let's just go ahead and jump on into picks and bans. We don't want to waste any time.
Sure, P's and B's, pretty please. We're getting into Excellence versus Rival, like you said. Pretty excited about this one. 4 points to 1. Excellence certainly looking up at Rival. Rival has been sort of the numero uno team for a while now, and honestly, coming into this season, it almost seems like Europe said, all right, we've got 2 okay teams. Let's make one really dominant team. Watson joined on board, and everybody looking fresh.
Team OP coming out from Europe. I'm curious to see kind of these picks and bans coming out because both teams have picks that they've been kind of favoring. Sun Wukong, Robin for that solo lane coming out from Rival. Kronos on her. I mean, they've been picked almost every time.
I mean, they're powerful choices, and these guys certainly feel comfortable with them. Rival, even going back to last season, very aggressive compositions. Zenborne bringing the Sobek almost every single game last time around. Now, not so much Sobek, but still sticking to the aggressive, offensive nature of these guys. I expect much of the same.
One thing I did want to mention about Excellence, they haven't picked the same solo laner throughout the entire game so far. Throughout all their matches, they've been something different. So their god pool, at least for solo, a little bit wider.
Yeah, Gnome's an interesting player. He's the true solo lane in my eyes. Whatever the team needs in their composition, he's willing to play. Not give me Bologna every game, not let me win my lane every game. Whatever the team is necessary, whatever the team needs necessarily, he'll go ahead and select. Fafnir, like I was talking about Zenborne, is a perfect choice for him. Going to stay aggressive.
I mean, Fafnir, it's either Fafnir or Terra. Terra was banned out early on for Excellence, so no hesitation there, but Guan and Freya locked in for Excellence.
Jing going to be the hunter next to Fafnir. And then we've got one more selection for Team Rival, and they're going to go with the Raijin. So very standard composition coming out with the Rival right now. Honestly, all 5 gods of the board at the moment, even with Vulcan. Everybody should be happy. There's not really a bad point for either of these compositions. Usually at this point, you can lean towards one and say, hey, this team is already in the lead, or they got a bad pick. Both squads look really fresh.
I mean, we saw some really great plays coming out from Raijin. Last time we saw Rival, just lots of early aggression, and the synergy coming out from Rapio and Watson is absolutely fantastic. But last band's coming in, Thor and Robin. No big surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, Robin, just a standard beat-em-up solo laner, doesn't want to deal with that. If Guan makes it into the solo lane, that could be a little bit rough. Thor and Rat, 2 of the more perennial junglers, banned out. Xing will be the selection. Excellence likely to put this guy in the solo lane, but we have seen him played in the support role from time to time, so can't absolutely rule anything out, but most likely Guan Yu support, and then Xing in the solo.
I'm liking the Rat ban coming out from Rival. They did their homework. Excellence have run this half of their games as well. But last pickups coming out from Rival, the Sun Wukong and the Susano.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the Susano. Heavy mobility in the jungle, going to be met with your favorite Fenrir
I love
on the other
Fenrir.
side.
Fenrir is my absolute favorite. It's always a treat to be able to see him. The brutalize, it sticks to you. It's almost like Susano. He's less slippery as Susano, but he still pumps out the damage.
And he's got a stun as well, which makes things problematic and even more early game tilted than the Susano. Susano can certainly bring the pain early game, but Fenrir is certainly the character that really is going to do it and has been doing it for a long time. No, I'm giving the poke down to Predator, but everybody on Excellence going to go and say hi. Pointing out the Wrath on the Susano. So we're going to be aggressive early on. I don't know if I'm expecting an invade. It's kind of tough to invade on a Fenrir of all characters, but certainly want to keep an eye on the early Gold Furies and second round invades once these buffs come up for a second time.
Normally we talk about Sun Wukong being an absolute nuisance later on in the game, but right now Gnome doing that, I mean, stopping the backs, running forward, it's great.
Absolutely. It's very important to stop those backs. 10 seconds or minus 10 seconds on the clock. We're going to see Xing make it back just in time. And in all honesty, if I'm Team Rival, I second-guessed that. I said, hey, I don't know if I'm really willing to go ahead and invade on the Fenrir. Well, not only is Xing terrible when it comes to defending against the invades, but looking at that situation might have been worthy, but Rival going to play it safe, and I respect that. Everybody going to start off at their proper beginnings.
I definitely respect it. eXcellence. They have the Xing 10. They have the Fenrir.
Slow.
The last thing you want to do is get behind on that Fenrir, because Fenrir works really well. I mean, every guy works well when they're fed, but Fenrir does not have a good comeback game.
Look how slow eXcellence are taking their time getting those buffs down. Not only was Xing a little bit late to the party, but he's, like I said, not numero uno when it comes to the clear. So Rival are able to clear the entire wave and just walk into the jungle. eXcellence have a lot of work to do on the right side of the map.
Yeah, Rival want to take advantage of every aspect of the game as possible. They are so very aggressive when they have that ability to do so, and Rival are seeing their opening and they're taking it already.
I love this rotation that we've seen a lot out of Rival. A couple of other teams as well, but most notably Rival. The solo lane comes and joins the party for those elementals, and then even the mid Harpies that allows Rival to go ahead and knock them down even quicker, and then we'll see that translate into the aggression we see in the mid lane, forcing Vulcan all the way back on the tower.
And not going to have to worry about that solo lane. Predators, it takes them a little while to clear out that creep, especially at this early stage. Not going to have to worry too much about that, but the aggression coming out from Rival in the mid lane, that's my biggest pinpoint.
Well, here we're looking at the dual lane real quick. Nice little disarm coming out from Zenborne there. As soon as the Pulse Irradiate, or just the Pulse rather, is activated on the side of eXcellence. And that's something you're going to watch out for a lot. Farleez on this Freya, he's only a ranged character for 6 seconds at a time. Used to be 5, most recently patched 6th. Zenborne's going to take advantage of that with the ranged disarm that Fafnir brings. As soon as he hears the sound that Freya activates, Zenborne's going to jump right on top and then cut that 6 seconds down by just a little bit.
I mean, the timing's important. And speaking of timing, we're getting at about that 2-minute mark. How come we haven't seen any invades? They normally happen about now, or at least for the ganks. They normally happen about now.
Well, just no real opportunity, Tiger. Here in the mid lane, there was a little bit of pressure, but we didn't see Rival. The only real option would be the back right Harpies, and we didn't see Rival really go for that. Like I said, I'm expecting the next invade. Keep an eye on that red buff and that speed buff. Next time those come up around about maybe 60 seconds from now, or a little bit less, I think we're going to see the Susano invade with a little bit of help from his friends.
He wants it, looking for the Taiko drums, forcing out the Purification and the Typhoon, but they're not going to be able to lock down the Fenrir. The jump was too good.
Love the choice out of the Fenrir. So if he takes all 4 hits out of Watts' ultimate, he likely lives with a sliver of HP, not willing to use the beads right when Raijin goes for it. But as soon as he sees Rapio come in position to toss out the storm, as soon as he sees that, he realizes, look, Raijin's not going to kill me by himself, but with the jungler, that damage is certainly going to do it. So he'll purify and get out. He doesn't panic beads. He uses it right when he needs to. Love it.
It's all about making those sacrifices, knowing, okay, I'm going to go ahead and lose this relic, but we're going to get an opportunity for me to come back into the lane and not die.
So this is that second round of buffs like we were talking about. It doesn't seem like Rival want to get too aggressive. Vulcan and Fenrir already on the speed buff, so nothing that Susano can really think about with that Wrath. So unused so far, besides giving Rival that early start that we saw between Xing being slow and Rival having Wrath. Certainly a different story.
Maloaise jumping in with the Ragnarok, but Gnome jumps into the Somersault Cloud to go ahead and negate that. He'd be CC immune anyway. And I mean, it just works out. Good timing, just good communication coming out as well. As soon as he saw that, he knew what to pop to make sure that he wasn't taken advantage of.
Mid Harpy's going to respawn here too as well, but here's where Rival want to get aggressive. Blue buff is going to get intervened with, and 2 players very low. It's going to be a double kill, Tiger. 1 goes down for the count. Xing got nowhere to go.
Predators tried to get away, but Watson going to be able to find him with that range. Good for the Raijin. 2 kills up for Rival. That's going to be the first blood.
Love the pathing here. Rival take what they can. They're going to look for the mid Harpies here on the right-hand side. If eXcellence want to fight again, I think they're down. Watson still has the ultimate. Rival got that double kill without using too much. You see all 4 players on the right side. Everybody but Gnome has an ult available, so Rival can still go to town.
And we haven't talked about this, but Hysteria Echo is actually on the team right now, playing as that mid Vulcan. We haven't really seen him, but subbing in today.
Yeah, he's taken a little bit of the spot. eXcellence have shifted some positions around in response. So because of that, Hysteria coming in here, honestly a little bit unfamiliar with this player. I really enjoyed that eXcellence has made a change. They need to make a change. So we'll see how this guy works out.
Yeah, but not going to be seen. 50-meter fly today. Gnome, however, getting a little bit of damage. forced out. Don't want to go ahead and take any more from Xing. He's a level up, but don't give eXcellence any foothold.
Yeah, not quite. Right now, Rival, they don't seem like that's going to be a problem for them. 5 minutes in, they're already up by 2,000. I mean, you talk about relative gold, right?
Yeah.
Gold at this point in time is much more valuable than gold a little bit later. And the 1,800 gold right now is just so much more impressive. There's no gold furies available. Obviously, no towers have been taken. 1,800 gold. You're looking at 500 for the first blood. You're looking at the couple of rotations of the elementals on the right side, and then a few of the mid-harpies, plus the blue buff invade that we saw the double kill on. So all of that culminates in a pretty massive lead this early on.
I wanted to talk earlier before we had that invade, by the way, about eXcellence. They were really good on their timers, securing their own speed to make sure that nobody on Rival was going to invade. But then when they thought they were safe with their blue, that's when Rival started to go ahead and continue in.
Exactly, and that was, not only do you have to go ahead and invade, but also Rival want to play the... You want a surprise. You want to have the element of surprise. So, like you said, the backhand harpies, it might have been a little bit predictable. That speed buff invade was where we expected to see the invade, which is why eXcellence went there as soon as it spawned with multiple members of the squad. After the speed buff was safe, nobody really expected the blue buff invade after the fact coming out of Team Rival. But because of how long it took Xing and everybody to take out that buff the first time around, Rival knew they had a lot of wiggle room and breathing room to go ahead and invade. Now we see the secondary invade. This is because of all of what happened before.
Typhoon coming through. Here comes the swing as well. Rapio caught in that Xing ult, and Zenborne caught in the Vulcan ult, but Gnome going to be able to find the thwap onto Echo, and Jing trying to follow up, but not going to be able to find anybody with the ultimate.
Rival get exactly what they wanted their Tiger.
Oh, definitely.
First time around, they don't invade at all. Like I said, Fenrir and Xing. Xing, I want to invade on. Fenrir, I don't. We'll just play it safe. Second spawning of the buffs, we'll take the blue buff because you expect the speed. Third spawning of the buffs, we'll just fight you because we have a little bit of a lead. Go for the speed. We take another kill on top of that and translate it directly into the Gold Fury. Rival haven't planned this one out since minute 1. Everything looks beautiful right now. They're up, 3,000 gold? This is exactly what this team planned on when they walked into this match.
We see two types of Rival games. We see the Rival games where they get an inch and they take a mile immediately, like this one, and we see the slow burn games where it's a little bit harder for them to break through with that aggression, or the teams have really been able to build against that, but we're not seeing that this game. Rival have gone from 0 to 100, pedal to the metal.
I mean, that's the game plan, right? Like you said, we see two different styles, and it's not necessarily two different types of opponents or whatnot, although eXcellence has struggled to really find themselves this split. It's really just two different strategies, depending on what the enemy team can draft. When you've got the Fenrir, you're playing it, like I said, it's a little bit dangerous, but the Xing, he's going to be vulnerable there on the right-hand side. It's going to be an issue for him, especially against a high-pressure solo laner like the Sun Wukong, really able to make those steals.
Farleez forcing the ultimate out, trying to avoid the damage coming out from Jing Wei, but she can't get away too far. Freya not going to be able to slow everybody down enough to keep her own life. But hey, here comes a cavalry charge from Turtle, forcing out Zenborne's ultimate, buys enough time for Farleez to get back into the tower, but Rapio jumping through, and Farleez is still alive.
Inaccuracies across the board from Rival. We see 2 dropped kills on the same player. 2 opportunities for Farleez to be taken out. Good play by Mr. Turtle. Saves his teammate, although, like I said, I think Rival did more work than eXcellence did there, but Mr. Turtle shows up right in time.
And Mr. Turtle got incredibly low, too. That wasn't just 2 missed opportunities on the same person. That was 2 missed opportunities for Freya and 1 for Guan Yu. He tried to charge in and help out, and he saved up enough time, but almost lost his life because of it.
Yeah, troublesome, but eXcellence make a good play and really just deter or stop Team Rival for the moment.
What kind of helped that survivability coming out from the Guan Yu, though? Looks like he's building a little bit tankier compared to previously.
Yeah, he's going to build those tank boots, and he'll likely build it into this breastplate of valor, just getting those cooldowns up. Atonement, hot wiggles. Not getting hit by, he gets hit by a single pulse shot. That's really what you got to do if you want to fight this Freya, but he's got help from the jungle.
Yeah, finally, just because he doesn't have any mana, he wasn't really able to fight back. Rapio comes in, finds the pull, and finds the kill.
Very aggressive out of the Freya player. Look at the left-hand side of your map. 0 red wards. Just 0 red wards. And because of that,
Wow.
That'll do it.
That will do it. 10-minute game coming out. That's going to be one for Rival.
I mean, you're down 4,000. I would have liked to see the team continue on, but at the end of the day, as long as it's a game one.
Yeah.
If it's a game two, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that surrender. The game one, okay. Look, everything sucks. Let's move on and head to game two. Shed everything. Quarterback memory. Let's get going.
All right.